Hi, hey everyone, welcome to the Extra AF Comedy Hour produced by Lady Laughs Comedy. Yay! So good to see you all. Other than that, I can't see you because we're on the internet, but you can see us. And what we like you to do is get yourself on social media, follow us. We are at ExtraAFComedy. We are at Lady Laughs Comedy. And take a picture of yourself watching the show. Do a good old selfie, laughing away with your pandemic pod people, your cat, whatever. And put on your social media, tag us. We love to see you seeing us because we can't actually see you. Yes. So let's have a social media event. Why don't we? Yes, thank you. That's the spirit. That's what we like. I'm here with my lovely fellow comedians. It's over there. Yes. The mirroring is always very confusing. Yes. And you'll be seeing all these wonderful comics later in the show. So much has happened since the last time I hosted this show. That was back in October. We spent a whole week watching Steve Kornaki's ass. I enjoyed that week. And don't be all like, oh, Lalita, you know, he's gay. Don't get your hopes up. I'm even gayer than he is, and I still appreciate the man's ass. I do. Love a good ass, especially when it calls it for the Democrats. As my favorite ass. That was a week, right? Do you remember? Do you guys remember? That feels like a long time ago. That was a long week. My family back in the Netherlands, they were obsessed with the election. They were obsessed. They were texting me, and they're like, what the fuck is going on in Allegheny County? I'm like, when I go outside, people can't point out Europe on a map of the world. But, you know, they're all about Maricopa County, whatever. It was good. The end result was, well, it was good, I guess. Biden is our president-elect. Real talk. Real talk. I was as happy when I heard Biden was our new president as I was when I found out that my brother's cancer means he now has a year to live instead of a month. It's good news, but you know, in 2020 we even have to qualify bad news, right? Like, is it 2020 bad or is it just bad? Biden is just bad. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I already mentioned I grew up in the Netherlands, and we have this festival this weekend coming up, and it's basically Dutch Christmas, and you get the Santa Claus type figure and then his helpers, who are white people in blackface. It's true. You can laugh, but it's not that funny. It's really true. You can Google it, or you can take my word for it. #BelieveWomen. So when I first moved to the United States, the first time I went back to the Netherlands, I'm like, you know, guys, about the blackface. And everybody's like, oh no, my God, she's gone all American. You'll be telling us to use dental floss next. I totally was. And recently when I was talking about this in the show, someone messaged me afterwards and they were like, they really don't use floss in the Netherlands? Really, between the floss and the blackface, that's what you went for? But it's weird because in Holland, American has become a little bit like a slur. Like they'll say things like, oh, Americans, all they care about is money. when the Dutch literally invented capitalism. Like back in the 16th century, when they were sailing the world looking for spices that to this day they don't want to eat. Was pepper worth it? Was it worth it? I don't know. No, I did recently become a US citizen, yes. Woo! And so to thank you, to kind of exercise my citizens' rights, I've been phone banking. I phone banked for Biden, and that was so successful that now I'm phone banking for Warnock and Ossoff in the runoff election. It's okay. It's good. You know, I got so fed up fighting with my teenager that now I just fight with strangers in Georgia. It's all right. It's all good. My son is okay. Bless him. He's okay. He is really just like the United States Supreme Court. He very, very begrudgingly accepts my right to exist. But he is a typical white American teenager. He has his daily dose of Oreos, attitude, and Ritalin. He first got prescribed Ritalin when we'd been in the States for, I don't know, a couple of years. And we were living the American dream. I put on 30 pounds and he got an ADHD diagnosis. It's all we'd made the journey for. In the meantime, I've lost the weight. I have lost the weight. Do you want to know how? Ritalin. He's still hyper. I don't care. All right, so I am going to move this show right along. We have such a great lineup, so why hang out here with me? Let's just keep moving. Our next comic is, where are my notes? So many credits. Yes, our next comic has performed at the Comedy Store, at Dow Comedy Studio. That's going to be, we have a lot of things going on at the bottom here. Dow Comedy Studio and I'm very intrigued by this, the LA Comedy Club. Guess where the LA Comedy Club is not?
LA.
Thank you. At the LA Comedy Club in Las Vegas. Please put your hands together for Jordan Balagot.
Woo!
Thank you. Thanks, Alita. Yeah, I made that same mistake, actually. I applied for this comedy festival at the LA Comedy Club thinking it was here, and then it was in Las Vegas. So it was awesome. I had a great time there. I'm Jordan, and I hate singing Happy Birthday. I just hate singing it. It's the only song where you don't pick a starting note. It's just like 1, 2, 3, happy birthday. Every key, every pitch, it drives me crazy. It's even worse on Zoom now. It's just like, even if you're good at it, it still just screws it up. Can we just cancel it? I think balloons are weird. It's like, I wanted to celebrate you, so here's a bag of my breath. And now with COVID, it's even worse because like, don't let that COVID. I hope you all had a nice Thanksgiving. I was trying to be healthy, so I had salad a la mode. And it gave me a product idea, though, for a smart scale that was like empathetic and talks to you. It's just like, it tells you white lies. Just like, no, you're 146. Tomorrow, you've had a rough day. It's probably just water weight. Is the election over yet? Like, is it really over? Is Nevada still does half the country still think that like Trump can win this? Trump hasn't conceded yet, but I like to picture him just stuck in his bedroom and with the door closed and Jared Kushner outside is knocking on it, being like, "Hey, big guy, you want to come out? I brought you some MacDonald's." He's like, "Go away." 2020 has been rough. I like picturing Back to the Future, but they're coming back to 2020. And Doc's like, "Marty, we have to go back to the future." And Marty's like, "Doc, don't we need to wear bras?" And Doc's like, "Bras? Where we're going, we don't need bras." I have a bunch of life hacks for you guys. So if you spill baking soda on your shirt, you can use red wine to get it out. Or if you're patient and wait long enough, ants will clean your house. Like if you just leave food out, you just wait for them to take it all away, and they'll let themselves out too, taking out the trash. If you're having financial problems and you didn't marry someone rich, but you're with a partner, you guys could still swing and find a sugar mama or sugar daddy. How committed are you to this idea of getting rich? Or you could do what I do, and you could write checks and fill in the amounts like you normally would, and fill in the name, and then just put a little minus sign in front of the amounts, and then when they cash it, the money comes to you. Little trick. I don't know why people do that. COVID's been rough. I've noticed with like conversations can get like surprisingly dark really easily. It'll just be like, "Hey, sweetie, how was your day?" And she'll be like, "Oh, it was good. I have a tickle in my throat. Should I get a gun?" Yeah, is the pandemic over yet? Will people tell us like when it's over? Like imagine it's just like you waited a year. You're like, I waited an extra year. No one told me that this pandemic was over. I was afraid that I had COVID once. I mean, I've got seasonal allergies, and I also lost my sense of taste, and I was like, oh no! But then I just realized I was drinking LaCroix. So I had sparkling tea once, and I really liked it. And I was like, does anyone make sparkling coffee? And I couldn't find it. So I tried pouring LaCroix into my coffee. And it was disgusting. It was like lime LaCroix and coffee. And so I did it again. And my wife's like, wait, why'd you do it again? And I'm like, what if it's an acquired taste? I still don't know. I'm a tech nerd. I've got a bunch of tech jokes. So the new iPhone, I've heard, doesn't come with the charger. Just comes with a middle finger from Apple. Include it in the box. I was taking the 101 to the 110, and or as computers like to call it, the 5 to the 6. That's a binary joke. Or I think quantum computing is cool because it identifies as non-binary. Non-binary. I'm from Chicago. I went to, I was looking around at the streets, and I'm like, do Los Angelinos count to 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Wilshire 7, 8, 9, Olympic 10. It's weird. I have an Apple Watch. Did you know that the Apple Watch can track loneliness? The way it can tell if you're lonely is if you use the Apple Watch at all. Did you know? So there's this urban myth that people eat 8 spiders a day, or eat 8 spiders in their sleep, and it's not true. I mean, you and I don't eat 8 spiders in our sleep, but there's this one guy that eats billions. So the average between you and I, we eat 8 spiders. I'm trans. I don't. There's a lot of ways to be trans. It could be. You could do hormones. You could not do hormones. It could be intersex. It could be non-binary. You could do surgery or not do surgery. But I have a lot of friends that are having surgery. It seems like every week someone is getting work done, and I'm happy for them. But I'm also just insanely jealous. I'm like, that bitch Sarah with her new vagina. Oh, Katie got one too. Good for her. I've got a Ducata purse, and they have new vaginas. Those bitches. I don't always pass, but I do pass sometimes. And one of the ways I can tell if I'm passing is if men give me unsolicited tech advice. They don't hit on me, but they do give me tech advice. So I was on a plane, this is before COVID, and I had my phone plugged into an outlet. It had outlets. And the guy behind me was like, if the phone's plugged in, it will charge. I'm like, golly, is that how outlets work? Will you show me how my seatbelt works next? At my work, we had a male intern, and he was just full of privilege. He got it through nepotism and all of that. And he was trying to show me how this software worked. And I'm a software engineer, and I'm like, I know I wrote this. Are we really doing this right now? He later put on his LinkedIn that he was a manager of strategy and partnerships. And I'm like, are you kidding? You made coffee. What's wrong with you? My wife and I have been married 6 years, and we're trying. Thank you. We try and be creative in bed. So we once had a tax day fantasy after tax day. We're like, oh, you owe me your 1040. Give it to me in installments. Or instead of talking dirty, we're like, talk wholesome to me. Oh, I love and respect you so much. Oh, our relationship is so stable. My wife thinks I should do yoga, but yoga is just too stressful for me. Like, it's one thing to fail at something. It's another thing to fail at it slowly. And have to do it 10 times in a row. It's just like, I can't do this. I can't do this again. I think there should be other poses anyway, like backward slouching engineer or crouching existential crisis 2020 ball. Eating in bed. My friend was moving to Sherman Oaks, and he asked me if we had a nickname for it, and I'm like, yeah, we call it Shermy Shermy. And he's like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, no, we call it Shermy Shermy. So if you see my friend named Drew, who just moved to Sherman Oaks, tell him we call it Shermy Shermy. And even if it's a thing, that's fine. It'd be ridiculous. I get misgendered sometimes. It happens. People identify as she, and people will call me he. One thing that I've realized that my family does, which I think is funny, is if they misgender me, they're like super apologetic and they freak out. They're like, oh, Jordan. It's nice having Jordan home. It's nice having him home, right? I mean her. Anyway, I'm gonna let the dog out. He needs to go out for a walk. She needs to go out for a walk. I'm gonna put the mail on the table. His table, her table, the table. Lastly, I heard in the news that this guy got bitten by a snake, a shark, and a bear, all within a 2-year time frame. And it's super, super rare that this would ever happen. They calculated the odds. It was like 1 in 43 trillion or whatever. But I'm just thinking, this guy sounds delicious. I kind of want to try. He was bitten by a snake, a shark, a bear, and a trans comedian. What are the odds? All right, thanks everyone.
Woo! Jordan Balagot, everybody. And you'll see people at the bottom of the screen. You'll see our name and where we're from, and then it says tips. It doesn't say, it says over here, tips, tips appreciated. And then there's our Venmo. Please feel free to tip the comedians. There you go, there's Jordan's again, and everybody will have it at the bottom of their name. Now, I know that you already pay an entrance fee to come to the show, but just imagine this. I mean, right now, you're on Zoom, you're home. If you're not home, you should be home, okay? We're in a pandemic. Get home. Just be safe. And I find it funny when on the radio they're talking about the pandemic and they say, because of the coronavirus pandemic. And I'm like, I think we know what pandemic we're in right now. I can't imagine anybody going, what pandemic's that then? We know. I think we're good with just the pandemic. Anyway, you're home, you paid a ticket, but you're not having 2 mandatory drinks that will set you back about $48. You're not having to look for parking. You didn't even, admit it, have to get dressed. And so feel free to just tip $1 or $2. You know, I mean, if you want to tip more, that'd be great. But you don't have to. Just a small tip. Don't feel shy. Don't think that we're going to mind if you're just going to give us a few dollars because we're comedians on the internet, right? we don't have self-respect. So we're happy. We're happy with just a few dollars. So please tip your comedians. Thank you so much, Jordan. Our next performer. Okay, every time I see her perform, she's hilarious. So that's already great. But every time she gets introduced, people go on about how they can't possibly pronounce her surname because it has 5 syllables. And I sat with that for a long time and I thought, people say, well, fuck this fucking shit all the time. That has 5 syllables. If you can say that, you can say somebody's surname, right? Yes. Don't be a dick. That's already 4. Don't be an asshole. There you go, 5. Don't be a racist asshole. There, that's 7. She is on her way to do the Netflix special Comedians Having Coffee in Cars, but she's usually based in Oakland. She's a big hit at the San Francisco Sketch Fest. Please give it up for Sereni. Where's Sakura?
Yeah, Jerry, can you just be quiet? I'm trying to do my set. Can you give me 10 minutes? All right. We'll get to it, okay? Yo, I am so happy to be here. Listen, I'm not in my car because I'm one of these broke ass comedians, okay, that lives out of their fucking car. No, I make so much wealth at every show. I make at least 2 drink tickets a show minimum. Killing it out here, okay? No, I do have a home, but I'm here parked outside a fucking Whole Foods so I can use their Wi-Fi capitalism, okay? I got a home, but no, I'm gonna just squeeze Jeff Bezos just a little if I can. You know what I mean? You get a fucking plastic straw. I fucking steal Whole Foods Wi-Fi. All right?
Yeah.
Come at me. All right. I don't know why I'm so aggressive right now. I'm just excited. I haven't done a show in a second. We got all these beautiful people here. We got, who's the person? Okay. Who's that down? Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. Okay. That was happy, wasn't it? All right. I hate myself for it, but we're going to just move on. You know what's crazy? I don't know how many people are watching. It could be 2 or 500. This is like the perfect example of like practice how you play or whatever the fuck, you know, because there could be my next, you know, Jerry Seinfeld could be in this audience right now. I could actually get on, you know. Oh man. All right. Well, let's just fucking get into it, you know. Sorry, that's where I keep the buried bodies in that little look at that box over there. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to start. I've been living, you know, this pandemic out with my girlfriend, you know, and when you spend so much time with someone, you start to notice some shortcomings. You know, like so she's got a really high libido and I've got a really low libido, right? So it's not really like shortcomings as it is shorted of comings. But I got a low libido, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to up mine. I'm eating aphrodisiacs like strawberries and chocolate, and she's trying to meet me halfway. So she's eating Xanax. And if that ain't love, then I don't fucking want it, you know? I will say it's been hard, but one thing that's been nice is we've been cooking a lot, you know what I mean? Like we've been cooking a whole lot. Like I'm bringing in a lot of South Asian spices into the mix. She's bringing in a lot of Mexican spices. Like we eat good at our house. You know what I mean? Like when we take a shit, we burn incense. It just works different with the cumin. And I used to not think that polyamory was for me, but the way I see it now is, hey, more people, more spices. All right. Well, I'm like looking at my cabinet. I'm like, hey, babe, what do you think about a Chinese girl? The day of the fucking threesome, they're like, you got the lube. I'm like, you got the Szechuan peppers. I came to burn. Okay. Yeah, man. It's just, you know, and we've been thinking about van life recently, like legitimately. That's not even a joke. Because it's more economical, right? But we're looking at our like 7-8 cabinets worth of spices, and we're like, where the fuck are we gonna put all of these? So we start looking up #vanlife for inspiration, right? And there's one common factor among all these people. All right, say it with me, guys. It's all
white
people, right? It's all white people because you only need a little room for salt. Do you know what I mean? Okay, that's okay. You know what? That was a little mean. There's some white people on this show. All right. Obviously, you know, I know you guys got a variety of spices. All right. Like, you know, like you got Himalayan salt, sea salt, garlic salt. And one mason jar of ghee. You know what I mean? You guys suddenly love ghee. She fucking Lolita. God damn, dude. Okay, so this is something that's been on my mind recently is I've been thinking a lot about how like my family and I'm, introspective times because I'm not, doing shit as much, obviously. And I've been thinking a lot about how different my brother turned out than me. You know what I mean? Like, he's older than me, he's like 29. He's like a financial analyst. He is super buff and does like powerlifting. He like makes a ton of money. He's got the 2 bitches, you know what I mean? He's got a wife and a dog, he's got the whole setup, And he's just pulling in money, and he's just doing the damn thing, you know what I mean? Like I'm a comedian and, and he makes money. That's the difference between us. You know what I mean? Like he's not going home from his engineering job, with a cut of the tip jar and some drink tickets. Do you know what I mean? He has direct deposit because he has a salary. Do you know what I mean? All right, this got a little angry. Anyway. He always had his heart, in the right place. Like when he's very protective of me. Like when I went to college, he's like, Sraney, if a guy hands you a beer at a party, don't drink it. Beer has carbs. Like, I want to fuck a fatty. I was just like, okay, I see where you were going. I was like, what about roofies? And he's like, oh yeah, those are great for losing weight. You can't eat if you're out. That's a dark joke, and I can see who it resonated with of these 4 people, and we don't need to unpack it right now. We don't got to do that. It's just, I think part of why my brother had such a straight-laced path is because he's the oldest sibling. There's like more pressure because we're Asian, right? You know what I mean? Like you have to provide for your parents, and like you can't just like kick them into a fucking home, you know what I mean? Like some white families, you gotta hold them. You gotta be physically there. You gotta be there while they have their last breath, like you gotta fucking, and I think that it's just, and the thing is like, I feel like brown like parents, like they want you to do it. Do you get what I'm saying? I could be like, hey, I got like, the most, renowned nurse in the whole fucking U.S. to take care of you. They're like, no, I want you to wipe my ass. All right. I fucking to get something back. All right. I want you to look me in the eye while you fucking do it, while you decided to go be gay and be interracial dating. You know what I mean? This is my comeback, they squeeze it out of you. You know what I mean? They're like, there's a fucking fresh delivery. Get to work, girl. Like they're fucking, that's like their last, hurrah. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a motorcycle. Anyways, maybe I'll have something more insightful to say about the parents later. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta you gotta work through some shit. Do we have any questions so far, by the way? All right, cool. One thing I did want to talk about is like I mentioned, like my girl, she's got a higher libido than I do, and we've been investing, in things like some sex toys. Like we got this thing called the Nexus, all right? And it's one of these sex toys where it goes inside of me, so I can go inside of her. You know what I mean? Like I get fucked while fucking her. I don't have a dick. She doesn't have a dick. That's 2020 technology. Okay. And the best fucking part about it, is if we ever break up, we just cut it in half and we both get a dildo. All right. That's economical. Okay. We got it on Black Friday. Dude, fuck a prenup. All right. Fuck getting a prenup. All right. Just buy things that you can cut in half. That's all I'm saying. My girl and I, we invested in a tandem bike together. If we ever break up, boom, 2 unicycles. We got 1 kid. I don't know what we're going to we got 1 kid and 1 saw. All right. We didn't like the part where I talked about cutting a kid in half. And I'm on a street and I got quiet, real quiet in this room. I'm sorry for the vibe that I've created in this car, Jerry. Oh man, me and Jerry, we go way back. I feel like I don't recall if I got lit, but I'm not sure. Oh, I did get lit. Yeah. Oh, I can't see. I just noticed it. There's a little like circle above the light. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna do one last joke because I'm sorry. Okay. I did used to work as a barista before all this shit hit the fan. And I remember somebody walked into my cafe and they did one of the most piece of shit things, all right? They fucking walked into my cafe and they stole some tips out of the tip jar.
No.
Yeah. And my coworker, she was like, well, if he's stealing tips, like he needs it more than I do. So I've been stealing her tips. I need it more. All right. My name is Tracey. Thank you so much. I make videos and thank you so much for the time. Keep it going for your house.
Thank you, Sereni. That was wonderful. You can go back to your Netflix special now in your car. It's I don't know. I know I got very excited about your set when you mentioned ghee and also the Himalayan garlic salt, whatever. I mean,
you're my demo audience right here. You're my demo.
What's India for if not for white women to exploit it? Sorry, I'm just going to do my yoga, but I'll be back in just a minute. Namaste, you people. But I have to say, when you went into medication for weight loss, it got a little dark for me considering I'm using my son's Ritalin to keep the weight off, thinking about the rupees. I don't know.
Too close to home.
Way too close to home. But that thing of cutting them in half, I mean, let's talk after the show is what I'm saying. Now, our next performer, when I read her bio, I thought she was a couch potato connoisseur, but I got that all wrong. So I'm just going to try that all over again. She's a Bay Area transplant. I think that's kind of a medical pun. So let's find out if that's true or not. She's a Netflix connoisseur, and we need those. If you want to know what good shows to watch, don't ask me. I have no idea. Ask her. She knows all of them. And she's a potato chip enthusiast. Again, if you need potato chip advice, don't ask me. I don't know anything about potato chips, but she does. So you can ask her. She co-hosts a podcast that I have heard of. Is very, very good. It's about parenting in a pandemic. It's called We Heart Mom Jokes. I'm on it too. It's super fun. It's super fun, even for people who aren't parents. I think, right? I think it's fun for everybody. It's just
you like laughing,
Yeah, it's just us laughing about stuff. So We Heart Mom Jokes. She's the co-producer and the main editor. Please give it up for my very good friend and colleague, Smita Venkat.
Thank you, Lalita. So for those of you who don't know, Lalita is basically a reverse Karen. Like she changed her name for an Indian one, and she eats ghee and Himalayan salt or whatever. And, Okay, first of all, I just want to say how lovely it is that we're doing this online show. I mean, sure, I miss live performance, but I just was thinking, let me consider the benefits of this new model. And one of the top ones is you get so many different environments. Like, look, you've got Royal Opera Hall realness with Jordan. What is that red curtain? It's amazing, okay? And then all the way down to the Uber Eats delivery situation with Sereni. Why? And then you've got some serious, IKEA show flat going on with Lalita. Tell us, is that plant real or fake?
No, it's totally real. And more importantly, I've kept it alive.
Oh my goodness.
For a year.
Yeah, so it's probably fake and she's lying.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, and the very last one, we've got Bobbie with some premature Christmas decoration going on. But hey, you do you. The lights in the back, are they all year round or are they out for Christmas?
They're all year round, but I am sitting next to a Christmas tree.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Is it too early? I think it is. Or maybe no.
After Thanksgiving is not too early.
It's in the Constitution, Smita. Come on.
Oh.
Look it up.
I think the Constitution, it's sacrilege, What are you doing? It's already December 1st. Did you all have a good Thanksgiving? Yeah. No one had a good Thanksgiving. Let's just be honest. I'm a vegetarian, and so like Thanksgiving is really weird for me because like I spend the whole day waiting, for the main event, and then I can't even experience the payoff, right? So basically, Thanksgiving for me is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and yeah, I just have to. But if as a vegetarian, if I complain that I can't eat the main dish at Thanksgiving, people always say the same thing to me. They're like, "Oh, you don't know the side dishes are the best part," like as long as you have the side dishes, that's the most delicious thing. But it's not fair because I don't have a choice about the side dishes, right? It's like arranged marriage. Like, would you rather have an arranged marriage to a really hot person or pick your own ugly person? The truth is, we all want a hot person. But the other truth is, Thanksgiving this year really sucked, and that was not fun. So, yeah. Is anybody else feeling burnt out by 2020?
Oh, yeah.
To a crisp, a well-brined, burnt turkey, I think. That's what I feel like myself. Just spatchcock me and throw me in the trash or something. I don't know. Something. I don't know. So, okay. So one of the things that I think is an upside of 2020 is that there's a lot more opportunity for online dating. I mean, there's a lot more opportunity for online everything, right? Everything's online. So I'm kind of jealous of my friends who do get to do online dating because I'm in a committed relationship and I told him I would anyway. So I have one of my very close friends, she dates online. And I was like, what is it like dating online? Tell me all about it. And she was like, dating online is like Starbucks. And I was like, Starbucks? Do you mean it's hot and dark and all kinds of varieties? And she was like, no, I mean it's burnt and bitter. And always getting your name wrong. So I'm in an interracial marriage, and I have two kids, two lovely kids, and I would say like on the color spectrum, they are closer to latte, where I am closer to mocha. And so when I take them out, it's like this weird problem I never thought of before. Like I'm a different color for my kids, and it's sort of made even harder because like it's so hard finding mom friends. So I was at the park the other day with my children. They were playing, and I got to talking to this other mom, and I was like, yes, I've made a mom friend. I found her. And so I was like talking to her, and okay, halfway through, I thought we were getting along great. I was like, I have found her. And then halfway through the conversation, she was like, so where's their mom? And I was like, so I told her the truth, I was like, that bitch, she goes to the park and hangs out with racists. So yeah, okay, I want to do a little quick gut check with this group. Did you all assume that the mom I was talking to was white?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You know what? The great revelation is she was not. So anybody can be a racist. We can all dream big. Okay, friends? You don't have to know colors there. Yeah. So since this whole pandemic has started, a lot of my dreams have come true, actually. I don't have a horrible commute anymore. I get to spend a lot of time with my kids. Like a lot of my dreams have come true. And the thing that I've really taken away from this is that I've had the wrong dreams all along. And, the other day someone asked me how old my younger kid was. And I was like, oh yeah, she's 14 months. And this person was like, did you mean 1 year? And I was like, no, I said 14 months because I meant 14 months. Because like how with a prison term, every month matters. or like when you talk to a guy and you're like, are you 5'7"? And he's like, no, I'm 5'8". Kind of like that, every little bit matters. So don't you dare take even a piece of that away from me, Yeah. So I miss the before times. Anybody else miss the before times?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I even kind of miss driving around, going on the highway, getting stuck in traffic or whatever. When I used to be stuck in traffic in the before times, I used to play this game I called Interracial Family or Uber. But no, I'm allowed to play that game because I'm in an interracial family myself. Except, when I drive my husband anywhere, I do have to charge him. Yeah. Yeah. Look, it's really tough out there being a person of color who drives a Prius. I can't just idle at a curb. If someone tries to get in, it's bad. Yeah. So yes, I'm a vegetarian, and as I was introduced, I am a Netflix connoisseur. And actually, one of my new very favorite shows on Netflix, it's a barbecue competition. Yeah, I know. I see it too. And like one of my friends, when he heard this, he was like, "How can you watch that show? You can't even experience the thing like you're watching. Like why do you do that? Like you must be able to experience the thing. That's the point." And I was like, "Is that why you were so into Breaking Bad?" Like, and honestly, that guy has it upside down. Like you watch TV to escape. You watch TV to do the things you cannot do, right? So, like, actually, me watching all these people cook meat and eat it makes a lot of sense. You know what doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense is the people watching Hoarders. I'm like, friend, you can just go out into your garage. We both know what's going on in there, this, Anyway. Yeah. I've been experiencing a lot of Netflix peer pressure. Have you got that where people are like, have you watched Tiger King? Have you watched The Queen's Gambit? Have you watched The Crown? Have you watched this? Have you watched that? And it's like, no, I have not. Okay, just give me a break. I'm very busy on my couch, doom scrolling. Leave me alone, eating potato chips, trying to get through. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, total change of track. Do you guys feel like I feel like women sometimes we tend to apologize too much. Do you guys feel that? Like I do that. I'm very bad at it. Like I'm like the bump into a mannequin and apologize level. Much. And so like I remember once a long time ago, obviously, I was out for lunch with a friend and the waiter brought the wrong order for me. So I told him and then he was like, "Oh, I'll take it away." And he took it away. And as he was taking my plate away, I was like, "Sorry about that." And when he left, my friend was like, "Why did you apologize?" And I was like, "I don't know, the patriarchy."
So true.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you all a story about the time the TSA molested my sandwich. Yeah, so once I was flying somewhere and I'd bought a sandwich to eat on the plane, and I guess the TSA agent found something threatening about Jersey Mike subs. So, he basically told me the 4 worst words a person, miscellaneous brown person wants to hear in an airport, which is, "Ma'am, this way, please." So, so he took me over and I had to stand there watching, and he took my sandwich bag and unwrapped it. And there's no good way to say this. His hands were all over it. I felt violated, but anyway. So this is actually totally true. I felt so stressed out by this that I started to cry.
Oh.
So then he looks up at me and he's like, "Ma'am, is everything okay?" And so I told him, I gave him a piece of my mind. I was like, "Sorry." I mean, look, I get it. Nobody wants to be the one that lets the sandwich bomber through. But all I'm trying to say is my sandwich sacrificed so all of yours could be free. And anyway, since we're all being very shitty and not wearing our masks, we don't get to have nice things anymore and travel. So that goes down the toilet. Have you seen people wearing their masks wrong?
Oh.
The half maskers. Basically, it's like they wear the mask over their mouth but not over their nose. What is that? Are they just trying to be like, "Hey, I'm a mouth breather, accept it"? It's like, come on, don't be rude. And then I feel like some people do masks very wrong. Like I have you seen those couples where like one person wears a mask and the other doesn't, and they're holding hands and walking down the street, and you're like, do you know how this works? And I mean, and I have to be like, the one who's not wearing the mask, you should really probably go through their email and texts, because it doesn't look promising. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Doesn't look good to me. And then also, the other thing that I'm extremely mystified by is like, when you're walking along the street and someone has thrown a mask on the ground. Every time I go out, I see people have thrown masks on the road, like just on the pavement. I'm like, who are these people? Like, I have so many theories about why. Like, is it something like you were walking halfway down the street and you're like, I'm immune, and you're like, or is it like you kind of walk halfway down the street and you're like, quick, I need an emergency mask change, stat, and like you rip it. Who are these people? And it's never near a trash can. It's like in the middle of this, it's on a bush, like in the middle of the road. Like, what? I'm very mystified. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So, you hear little voices in the background? Sorry. They're adorable. Paul, I'm on the thing. This is some realness, okay? This is some COVID realness for all of you right here. Yeah. The other thing that's been on my mind recently is toilet paper. It's coming back, right? The toilet paper shortages. And some people are like getting annoyed. They're like, oh, people are like, panicking for no reason. And I think they're wrong. Here's what I think, okay? Like millennia ago, if you wanted to prove who you were, what would you do? You'd go out with your clan, shoot down, kill a woolly mammoth and drag it home. And then everybody in your cave would be like, yes, you are a real person. You have provided, But today you don't have that kind of opportunity. So instead, what do you have? You go to Target and you bring back a 12-pack. You show them who you are. Anyway. Like, toilet paper is very tricky. I mean, toilet paper is a very, very great thing, I think, because it's versatile, Just think about it this way. The alternative to toilet paper is bidet, right? And like, if you say you sneeze and you need to blow your nose, you'll be like, okay, let me just grab some toilet paper and quickly wipe my face. It's fine. But say you're thirsty and you can't use the kitchen tap. No one's going to that bidet. So toilet paper. Toilet paper is where it's at. Okay, I'll leave you with this very last COVID thing I do. So I can't go anywhere. Nobody can, and I can't do anything. So I've started walking around my neighborhood a lot. And I'd like stare into my neighbors' gardens and houses, because what else am I going to do? And I think I've developed this very special skill. I feel like I can guess what your personal grooming preference would be based on what your garden looks like. Okay? So there are some people who just let it grow. No pruning, nothing. Hey, live your life. There are some people who really keep it very neat and trimmed, right? And, well done, especially in fall, you really have to do a lot of cleanup. And then there are some people who just rip it all out and concrete it. Yeah, okay, you do you. Here's the ones I don't like, okay? I don't like the ones who use AstroTurf, because those are some unrealistic beauty standards. Okay? All right, so that's my time. I hope you guys have a good time.
Smita knows I hate that joke, because she knows I have AstroTurf on my patio. Beauty standards that are completely artificial and nobody ever gets to see them. So there you go. Now I have to say, I'm very curious. Did you guys all catch this? When Smita was yelling at her partner, way to go, we need to up your aggression level a bit. We'll work on that. To take care of the child, who's adorable. She said, I'm on the thing. I'm just wondering, what does your partner think that you're doing in here? Like, Smita comes out of the room going, Yeah, it's my OnlyFans. You know, it's my OnlyFans. And he's like, I heard people laugh. I don't think they should be laughing at you. Anyway, now we all know we are doing the thing, people. We are doing the thing. I have some bad news and I have some good news. So the bad news is my son always wants the good news first. Like, that's not how that works. Bad news comes first. It's in the Constitution. That's how it works. Bad news is that Tracey MacDonald, who was meant to be our headliner for tonight, was unable to join us. She had something come up. So we're super sorry. We wish her well, and we hope to see her at another show soon. The very, very, very good news is that we have a headliner because we had a double headliner. It's amazing how that worked out. Our headliner for the evening hosts the longest running mic for female identified comics in the world. She's the owner of Dow Comedy Studio in LA. She's the acclaimed author of this amazing book. I didn't order it from the show. I already had it, okay? It's called The Dow of Comedy, Embrace the Pause. Back for how long, Bobbie? How long? Good job. Check out her most recent special. It's on Amazon Prime. You've got Christmas holidays coming up. You're gonna run out of Netflix. Let's face it, you're gonna run out of Netflix. But even before you do that, she is way more entertaining than The Crown and all the other Netflix specials that you think you want to watch. It's on Amazon Prime. Bobbie Oliver's greatest hits, and here she is, Bobbie Oliver.
Woo! Woo!
Okay, first of all, can I just say that everybody in the show tonight was amazing.
Yes.
Like, this was so much fun.
Yeah.
Everybody was so funny. I always like it when the host delivers bad news right before they bring me up. They're like, bad news. Bobbie Oliver's your headliner. I also want to say that I have AstroTurf on my actual vag. Do people say vag? I didn't know what to say on this show. Also, I have no idea what ghee is. Everybody but me. Someone messaged me in the chat what ghee is. I feel like I was called out by Smita about my decorations. But let me say this. You're only a fanatic if you don't wait till after Thanksgiving to put them up. Okay? I hold myself off until after Thanksgiving. And what the fuck else have I got to do right now than put up a Christmas tree? But I'm excited. I'm very excited. I heard we have upwards of 8 people watching this show. So I feel like I need to sit up straight. My friend Melissa's watching though, so I'm just gonna this is for you, Melissa. So Smita was talking about being married. Everybody's had like a COVID birthday by now, right? Or most everybody. I just had a COVID anniversary. Yes, my husband and I had a big anniversary. We have been married for 29 years.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, I just want to see where it goes before I put out. But yeah, we've been married. We've been together 30 years, but this is our first quarantine. So like I'm sure all of you are doing, like we're going back and forth choosing Netflix. You know, one day we'll watch a good movie and the next day we'll watch one of his. Smita was talking about the Tiger King. Look, can I just say in Carol Baskin's defense, maybe she was quarantined with her husband for 9 months. I'm just saying I'm about a week away from feeding Chris to a tiger.
Good.
But we did have a big anniversary. But what I want to know is, like, can I please have another bridal shower?
Yes.
Because I have lost all the lids to the Tupperware
Oh yeah.
that I got 29 years ago. If it weren't for medical marijuana, I would have no Tupperware whatsoever. Anybody else have some mac and cheese in a King Kush container in their fridge right now? We've actually been together for over 30 years, so I feel like I can give y'all a relationship tip.
Yeah.
Do you want a relationship tip?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, marrying your best friend is a great way to ruin a friendship. My husband can watch the same old black and white movie like 200 times in a row, but he won't let me tell that same story twice about that thing that happened to me in the 80s. I get like 2 words in. He's like, I've heard this story before. I'm like, why don't you pretend like it's Casablanca and fucking hear it again? We've been together 30 years. I got no new stories. But when you've been together a long time, you got to mix it up, right? So here's what I do when I want Chris to pay attention to me. I take off all my clothes and I cover my naked body in kung fu movies and early 80s punk albums. He's so into me. Chris and I were on a TV show called Sex Box. Anybody see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it comes on TV, change the channel. Just do me a solid. If you're wondering what Sex Box is, it's a TV show where couples go on stage and have sex in a box. It's pretty self-explanatory. But here's the thing, y'all. I did not audition for Sex Box. I did not submit myself for a thing called Sex Box. They actually called me. Completely out of the blue, they called me. And I was like, you had me at Sex in a Box. You don't even have to tell me what it is. But Chris was not so excited about it. He was like, okay, so if they can't see us and they can't hear us, we don't actually have to have sex in the box, right? He's like, we could just go in there and talk. I'm like, we're fucking in the box. We're fucking in the box. Who wouldn't fuck in the box? Seriously. Lolita, I feel like you would fuck the box.
Totally. Give me that box.
Jordan?
I'm in.
Smita, when your kids asleep, no fucking in the box. Okay, so we fucked in the box. we really did. We really did. And here's the greatest thing about this story, okay? They wanted to pay us $500.
Ooh.
They paid everyone else $500. But I talked them up.
Ah!
I ended up getting us $2,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I was like, there's no way I'm going to fuck my own husband for $500. Not in a box. Not with a fox. That's a true story, I swear to God. So I was flipping through the channels like 3 o'clock one morning, and that movie Ghost was on.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? With Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was the romantic scene. You know what I mean? The pottery scene,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like she's making the pot, and he comes up behind her and embraces her, and the pot collapses, and the music's playing. I'm watching that, and I'm like, oh man, you can so tell from that scene that they're newlyweds. Right? Because if they'd been married a long time, she'd be like, what the fuck? I'm trying to make a pot. You always do this. Pottery is me time. So I was riding in the car recently and I heard that song on the radio, You Are So Beautiful to Me. Do y'all know that song? Remember that old song? Mm-hmm. You are so beautiful to me. And I'm like, oh man, I bet the woman that song was written for really gave him shit about the to me part. She's like, seriously, to me? You had to put a qualifier on that shit. He's like, I don't care what anybody else says, baby. You're beautiful to me. What was the first draft of that song? You were so ugly to everyone else. I'm just saying there was a fight. There was definitely a fight. So I was a teenager in the 80s, clearly. So I've heard the song Baby Got Back a million times. I mean, obviously I have, but I guess never really listened to the words to it that carefully because it came on in the car recently and I really listened to the words and I realized, y'all, he has a lot of requirements. Right? Have you really listened to the words to Baby Got Back? Not only does she have to have a big ass, she has to have a real slim waist. On the same body. And she has to have a made-up face. Right? Like he has this whole list of things he requires out of a woman. Meanwhile, the whole time, he gets to look like Sir Mix-a-Lot. Right? We got to pull off some freaky waist-to-hip ratio. That motherfucker running around looking like Sir Mix-a-Lot. Probably not even a real sir. Probably not even a real sir. So Chris and I finally watched the movie Straight Outta Compton. Who's seen that? Nobody in this show. All right, log off and go watch. No, wait till I'm done. Straight up. All right. So someone loaned us an old screener from the Oscars. That's how we watched it. Has anyone watched an Oscar screener?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Like, okay, Jordan, you can back me up on this, okay? Because this sounds like a lie. Y'all, at the beginning of Straight Outta Compton, it said, after you watch this movie, break the disc in half.
Mhm.
Yeah. And y'all, I watched Straight Outta Compton, and I did not break the disc in half. Because you know what? Fuck the police.
Yes.
I'm gangsta as a motherfucker. I loaned it to somebody else. It's so hard trying to stay in the box. Okay. So my daddy is a Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your thoughts and prayers at this difficult time. Yeah, my daddy's a Trump supporter. You know, people say that Trump supporters are racist for supporting Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my daddy's racist for supporting Trump. My daddy was racist long before he supported Trump. And here's the thing, okay? My mama was a Democrat. My mama died. My daddy starts dating all these old women in Georgia. They were all conservative, so now suddenly he's a conservative.
Mm.
So it is true what they say. Being a Republican is an STD.
Yes.
Don't fuck them. You'll get it. Don't fuck them. Why would you fuck them? Y'all, if my mama were alive today and she knew my daddy voted for Trump, she'd shoot him again. My family's a whole bunch of like high school dropouts and drug addicts and alcoholics, and I'm the disappointment. I have a master's degree. I'm the disappointment because I'm a liberal. Yeah, I'm the black sheep in a family of racist sheep. My whole family thinks we're cursed. Always talking about the family curse. I'm like, y'all, we're not the Kennedys. We just make really bad decisions. Get a GED. The curse will be lifted. My oldest brother is a fundamentalist evangelical minister.
Ooh.
Or as I like to call him, asshole. For sure. He's also a military cop.
Ooh.
He's every kind of asshole you can possibly be. And y'all, can somebody tell me, how the fuck is Trump the evangelical choice? Are you kidding me with this 5 kids, 3 baby mamas, porn stars? He's the evangelical choice. Imagine for a moment that Obama had 5 kids with 3 baby mamas and porn stars. But no, Trump's the evangelical choice. Y'all, Trump wouldn't know Jesus if he hired him as a carpenter and didn't pay him.
Yeah.
My daddy got his DNA test done on Ancestry.
Wow.
Have y'all seen those Ancestry.com commercials?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can find relatives you didn't even know existed. Gee, because the ones I know about are so awesome. Has anybody ever been at a family gathering and been like, oh, if only there were more of these assholes? If only I could find relatives I didn't even know existed. So my daddy got his DNA test done, and he sent me the results. Super excited, like he passed. And he's part English and Irish and Scottish and Welsh and Russian and German and Scandinavian. I'm like, congratulations, you're 10 kinds of white. But y'all, if you take your DNA, you willingly mail it to a corporation, you pay them like $100 to take it. Does anyone really need to tell you you're white? Is that not the whitest fucking thing? Here's my DNA. What could possibly go wrong? I was arguing with one of my Republican relatives recently, and they said, Bobbie, I can't believe you're pro-abortion and you won't even kill a bug. I said, I'd kill it if it were about to ruin my life. Kill the fuck out of that thing. Full disclosure, I've never had an abortion. All right. I don't care if you like me or not. In the before times, I was getting high in the parking lot of the skating rink, like you do, with a comedian friend of mine, and we were talking about the conspiracy theories about Hillary Clinton. Y'all know the conspiracy theories about Hillary, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, evidently she kills people. She runs a pedophile ring out of a pizza parlor. And remember when she fainted at the 9/11 memorial and they said she had a brain tumor, but she actually had pneumonia? Y'all, she was a woman in her late 60s on the campaign trail, working like 18-hour days, 6 days a week with pneumonia. Still had time to run a pedophile ring and kill people? How she should be president. I don't have time to run a pedophile ring. And I'm just a comedian. Okay. Let's see. A couple things before I go. Let's see. Oh, y'all, Trump ruined legalized marijuana. Okay, I've been fighting for legalization for over 25 years. In November 2016, they announced recreational marijuana is now legal in California. And I'm like, yes. And then they said, and Trump is president. Fuck. We're going to need something stronger. So now I've been fighting for legalized meth.
Yes.
Won't you sign my petition? So I've been thinking about this a lot, y'all, and I've recently decided that I want my child to be a comedian. So I've started to neglect her.
Good.
I have planned a rigorous program of harsh criticism and mixed messages. She's going to be fucking hilarious. Okay, I'm going to close on a public service announcement. Y'all, I'm so sick of slut shaming.
Yeah.
Where are my sluts at?
Yeah.
Okay. You know I can see you, right? Yo, I'm so sick of slut shaming. And by the way, for the audience, straight men, most counterintuitive thing you've ever done.
So
Could not go more against your own self-interest than to make women feel shitty about liking sex. Right? I'm so tired of hearing you're never going to catch a man if you're a whore. You're never going to get a husband if you're a slut. Yeah. Because why would any man want to marry a woman that likes to fuck? What could possibly be the upside? Whenever I hear guys say, my wife will never have sex with me, my wife will never blow me, I'm like, well, you're the one that want to marry, good girl. That shit is on you. If you're married to me, you'll be getting your dick sucked right now.
yeah.
In a box. Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm so excited I finally got to do this show. Thank you so much, everyone. It was so funny and delightful.
Thank you so much, Bobbie. I feel like we got so much marriage advice. It's like we're all taking notes. Like, okay, box. Meth. All right, this is the bit where we get to see all the comics. Let's see. Let's get our tech person. And we just want to. Yes. So please give it up for Jordan, for Smitha, for Bobbie. Yes. Rainy, her car got towed. She shouldn't be here. So listen, folks. Our next show is, get this, get ready. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? Okay. Our next show is January 7th, 2021. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Yes. 20 is almost over. And 2020 looks to be just as shitty as 2020 was. 2021 looks to be just as shitty. It will feel better because we'll be used to it, you know. Like 10 months. We're like, yeah, mask, whatever, you know, daylight, I don't know. So you can get your tickets at ladylastcomedy.com, and the other thing you can get at ladylastcomedy.com, oh my God, are these wonderful gifts, and you can have them sent to other people. You know that you're not going anywhere. So let's have that again. It's ladylastcomedy.com/gift shop. Look, there's all these wonderful handcrafted, there's like tree things and totes and earrings, and there's all sorts of wonderful stuff. So go get yourself to ladylastcomedy.com and buy your Christmas gifts. And that is all from us. We will see you in 2021. Woo!